Welcome everybody back to Minecraft Create. Today we're going to look at the simplest way to make bricks. This little brick that I've got in my hand there. And as you can see, what we need to make it, not too many materials. It's quite easy. Okay, so obviously always starting with cobblestone. That's like 95% of the recipes work out with cobblestone. So we're going to take cobble, we're going to change it into gravel, then into sand, then we need clay balls, we need the bricks, and then the solid bricks. I'll call this a clay brick basically. So there's a couple of steps to follow, but how to actually go about it is where we are going to be looking at. Okay, so we've got a normal little cobble generator here. I've got it filled up with a bit of cobble. This thing works like a bomb, seriously. Now I want to try and make this as small as possible. Not looking at efficiency completely, but we have to see how we go. So well, let's start here. So obviously now first thing we need the cobble's in our vault here, and we need to crush this up into gravel. Let's see here. So we need crushing wheels. For some reason it doesn't work with millstone. Maybe it depends on what mod you use, but we're going to go with that first. We want our funnel there, so let's see how close can we get this. I think this is probably going to be the closest. Yeah, no, that's basically the closest. Okay, so we're going to have cobble going out into this, getting crushed into gravel, and then the gravel needs to get crushed again into sand, if I remember correctly. So we need another pair of wheels. I think that should be close enough. Looks like it. Okay. So we got gravel, we got sand, but the sand has to get washed. Now, what's going to be the easiest way to do this? Okay, I think let's see if we can put this all on one belt. Okay, so we need a fan first of all. Where's my fan? Fan. And then we need water. So we're going to stick the fans, I think. How close are we going to do this? Keep a block. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think that do that. Okay, so we're going to put some fans over there. Use our leaves, because obviously we can waterlog our leaves. There we go. And I usually like covering my things up, so I'm going to stick a little edge around that, just to make it look a little bit nicer. We are going to need power on these. So with this we need to go like that, and we're going to have to rotate these to all go the same direction. Okay, and then we're going to just extend that, do that, oh, not there. Okay, I think that'll work. And then we're gonna just draw power from here. I'll just extend this to get this all on the same power source. Okay, then we're gonna quickly do that. And that should... no. There we go. Okay, so that's all connected through to there. That goes there. Now I'm just wondering, is it actually going the right direction now? Let's see. Let's put this on like that. Those wheels need to turn the opposite direction. So let's quickly add in another thing. So that's going left, and that one is going the wrong direction there. see. There we go. Okay, so that's all going in the right direction. We need to connect up our fans. So let's get a enchased fan that side. Now I'm wondering whether this is gonna work. Okay, that's going down, but it's not what I wanted to do. It's easier doing it this way. No man, I want that there. Turn that. And there we go. Okay, now fan's going the right way. Now these we can do that. Okay, so let's see. We are up to the point now. So we're gonna have cobble to gravel, gravel to sand, and then sand getting washed into clay balls. Okay, now I'm just thinking if this is gonna, if that misses something, this is gonna clog up this whole machine, so hopefully it doesn't miss anything. And then we need to cook this now again, which means we're actually gonna need more of these. So let's extend this. How far can this thing go? Okay, well at the moment that's what we're gonna use. Well, let's see, how can I go more? Ah. Okay, so that will be the end. How much we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, that's perfect. Okay, so we need the fan again. Now, the best way that I find is using, obviously, lava. That always, for me, works the best. So, let's put in some trap doors over there. Okay, and then we're gonna block this off. We're gonna add our lava in like so. And yeah, we can just carry this all the way through, so that should be all in one direction. Okay, we can take that out of the way. Okay, and that's going to cook it into our clay bricks, which is that one. Now, okay, so once it comes out here, we're getting clay bricks, but we still need to compact this, which means we need that, and I'm going to have to extend this little thing over here. Okay, now getting power here is another thing. So let's quickly grab our encased fan. I think I can actually, let's just do this. We're gonna transport that over to there, and I think hopefully this is gonna work. I'm gonna check if it's gonna go the right direction. Okay, that needs to go the opposite way, so we need to just add in one of those, and that should all be going in the right direction. And that cobblestone's gonna start coming through now. Yes, it's coming through already. We need a basin. We need a basin. Okay, find a basin. Basin, and I think I do have a press. Do I? No, I don't. Where's my mechanical press? Mechanical press. Let's see, how close can we get you? Let's put you there. That on top. Now, as you all know, I like to make sure that I get all the right items in my things. So I want to put that on like that. You can usually put it on there, but I'm very picky that way. So, come on. Okay, so that's going to go into there and out we want those bricks, and I think we can just put a... Oh no, we're gonna have to extend this a little bit, like that. Stick that on there, and that should be our bricks going in there. But now we just got to add some power onto this. Let's just do it from there. See, is this gonna work? That shouldn't be a problem, like that. And then just do that. Okay. Now the trick is here, when you have, see now there you already got that also coming through. Now that's a bit of a problem. Did I do this right here? Or am I missing something? Because... Okay, let me just empty out my inventory a little bit here quickly. Okay, so that... Let's throw away that we don't need. Get rid of that. Okay, now obviously the sand needs to come off. Now I saw flint here somewhere. Where is it? Okay, well that's working. So let's increase the speed a little bit here. Okay, let's crank you up. See, now that's where the problem comes in. That's why usually I prefer slowing this down. Now the only thing that should come through here is sand. Now we're getting flint as well, so that makes it a little bit more complicated. So now the way to fix this, okay, well, one of these will be cheaper to use, so let's do that. And the only thing to go through is, where are you? Okay, I think let's take the clay and take that. Now that's cooking to... Okay, we're gonna put that there. Take that on like that. Clay balls is the only thing we want coming out. And obviously the only thing going in must be clay. So take that out. Let's see here. Now we've got a whole bunch of stuff in this inventory of those now. Okay, glass, flint, sand. See, that's why I always put filters on in between my sections. Otherwise you got funny things that happen. Okay, now as a result, you're going to get flint coming out here. Now the only way to get rid of this flint is obviously to put a filter on. So let's quickly clear this out here, but with way too many things in this inventory. Okay, now there's one way of doing it, is to add a filter at the bottom for it to go through, which is usually the best way to do it. So let's get one of these and that. Okay, smart chute. And then we can just make our way down here. And I think we can stick that like that with the flint on it there. Now for safety you can always add another one like that. Okay, so now if you do that, we can just get rid of it and add a little bit of lava at the bottom. Okay, so there shouldn't be any flint. Now that should automatically change to clay. That side is clear. We need to get rid of that. This should only be... That's going... Ah, there, I see what I did. Ah, you see. I made a mistake then, I didn't even realize it. Because that is going so far, this is not getting done. So the best way now to actually fix this is to add trapdoor on there. I'm going to quickly add another one of these and just add... Oh my gosh, what am I doing here? There we go. Okay, let's just fix up the little lava section over here. Okay, now that should work without the hitch. I completely forgot about the gap. Okay, so that should automatically change that, and we've got our red bricks going through. Okay, that's a fairly simple way of doing it, so remember the gaps in between. Okay, so that's all a-okay going through there. See, now technically you don't need all this here, because depending on the speed of your belt, if you build this separate and add you slow the belt down so it runs independently, now then you can have a longer belt which will cook more of it at the same time. Otherwise this one's fine. You can just shorten this. You can do this by half, maybe even this, but the more area that you're covering, the quicker it will cook and wash what you need to done. Now obviously if you want to keep the flint, and you can always build a filter onto this thing. If you take your... Let's do it over there. Like that. We can add one in there. And do that. So if you want to, let's say you want to keep the flint, then it will go through there. Otherwise you just get rid of it. But you have to have a breakpoint in this design, especially with the belt going so fast. Otherwise that just goes all the way through, and then you're going to sit with a choke point again, which obviously you don't want. Okay, so fairly easy. You can make it smaller, all depending on you. And well, there we go. There's our bricks, and we've got quite a few bricks coming in there already. Now obviously if you want to make this more efficient, you can add on more belts here. You can do exactly like this is here, but just duplicate it a couple of times over, and then maybe add more bolts or whatever the case may be, and more mechanical presses at the end, so that it'll go quicker. Okay, well guys, that's the simplest recipe for making our red brick. Thanks for joining me, and I will see you guys again in next episode. Cheers.